Well, hey guys, I'm doing a live video because I just want to share something. But the reason I'm hopping on the video here today was just to share something exciting, just something in my life that maybe you guys could say, cool, you know. Um, my wife and I put an offer in for a house this past week, and we just found out that the offer was accepted, which is awesome. I'm so thankful for that. I haven't shared a lot about, my situation here. I'm a full-time artist, but I actually tried to put in an offer for a house 10 years ago, okay? And I had a full-time job that paid really good money. It was working for a vacuum cleaner company, servicing and hiring people to service machines. I was making good money. But when the economy downsized in 2009, or 2008, 2009, my job was downsized with that. And so my wife and I were just putting in an offer for our home, young family, and we were excited to move in. And then the financing was yanked out because I had lost my job, and our deal fell flat. And so, we had money we put in, and that was all done and over with. It was really disappointing. And at that time, I felt that God wanted me to be a full-time artist. And so I stepped out in faith. Of course, the financing company didn't like that. They said, well, that doesn't matter to us. You don't have a job. You're not getting financing. But I stepped out in faith in 2009 and started doing full-time art. But anyway, I didn't have a real job, or quote unquote real job, but I did start doing art full time, and did very well at first. And then over about 6 months or so, the commissions dried up. The people I knew at my church kind of went through everybody I knew, my nexus of people, and then my wife and I had trouble paying rent. Several times we would be praying for rent money. And this is the house we currently live in is one of the lower income houses in our city. We're very thankful for it, but we had to pay in the rent money for that. And as we prayed, God would provide miraculously. I mean, it'd be like next day at church, somebody would come up to me and say, hey Matt, I'd like to commission you to do a portrait for me. I don't know what I want done yet, but here's a check. I mean, things like that would happen. But even with those amazing provisions that we are so thankful for, it was difficult to, call up your landlord and say, I don't have the money for rent. I don't know where it's coming. And, it was not easy. So just all that to say that 10 years later, in the midst of being in this difficult situation, I continued with the business, had a couple part-time jobs that I took on the side to make ends meet, and then went exclusively full-time at the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. And I decided I'm not taking any part-time jobs. I'm just going to concentrate on the business. And again, very humbling times of not having money for rent, but God would provide. And eventually my business slowly started taking off, and my income went up a little bit each year. And so we were finally able to be pre-approved for a home loan last February, because my income had gone up with my business. We were able to get approved for a home loan. But because the market here in Eau Claire, where I live, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, is such a tough market for finding a home, my wife and I were looking for houses in the country because she really wants to have some land, and we have a son with special needs, and he would just thrive, being in the country. Right now, being cooped up in a little house in the city, not easy. And so we were looking for a house in the country, and put in some offers, and they fell through. And so this past year, a lot of disappointments, but we just kept praying and believing promises in the Bible saying, he who trusts in the Lord will dwell in the land, and just different promises in the Bible that we are just continuing to believe and hope against all hope. And so finally, then we put in an offer on a certain home out in the country, about 10-15 miles out of town. Beautiful place with about 5 acres of land and an outbuilding for a studio. And so we're so excited. You know, we put in that offer, and there were some opposition, some hoops to jump through with that, some difficulties dealing with, you know, putting in a well. And, you know, we just kept praying and praying, and we got this home. And amazingly, so he submitted that offer again. We stood fast on our original offer. And then a couple days later, and then the agent told us that they accepted our offer. So we're just thanking and praising the Lord for this. And so all that, and I know kind of long-winded here, but all that to say, you might see a different studio in the next couple of months. And then also because, you know, we'll be moving out of this home that we live in, and I'll be packing up my studio and moving it into a new studio. There might be a little bit of downtime. I'm going to try to keep my studio as one of the last things that I'll move out of the house, and try to have as little downtime as possible. And I'm going to do my very best to stay plugged in, maybe use my smartphone to do that. And yeah, and we'll have a new studio. So just want to share that with you and let you know that God is good. And if you're in a position in your life as an artist, you know, where you're maybe wanting to do this full time, it is possible. Just want to let you know it is possible to do it full time. It's going to be some challenges, but I mean, I can't complain. My business is doing better than ever. I'm booked with commissions, over a dozen commissions. I'm so thankful to God for that. And thankful to you guys as a group, you know, teaching classes online. It's been a great experience. Just rewarding to see students, you know, thrive in their art and improve in their skills. And then having you guys as a group here, I really appreciate you. So I just want to share this with you from my heart to yours. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, God bless you all. And yeah, have a fantastic night. Okay, talk to you later.